I never imagined I'd be telling this story, but here I am, wide awake at 3 a.m., watching my ex-girlfriend sit in her car outside my friend Mike's apartment complex. She's been sobbing on and off, sending message after message, calling nonstop for the past 2 days. I haven't answered a single one. It all started last Saturday. Jessica and I had been in a relationship for 4 years. We first met at Mike's Super Bowl party. She was a roommate of his co-worker. There was an instant spark. She was everything I had ever wanted. Intelligent, driven, gorgeous. She seemed like the whole package. After a year, we decided to move in together. We even got a dog, a German shepherd named Diesel. Technically, he was mine. I'd adopted him before we started living together. Life felt like it was falling into place. Or so I thought. I had been planning to propose for months. I bought a 2.5-carat diamond ring that nearly emptied 3 months' worth of paychecks. I made a reservation at Calloway's, an upscale steakhouse where we celebrated our first anniversary. I even arranged for a string quartet to play during the proposal. I had everything set. It was supposed to be unforgettable. That Saturday, I returned home earlier than usual from golfing with Mike. Typically, we'd be out for 5 or 6 hours, but he tweaked his back, so we cut the game short after 9 holes. When I walked into the apartment, Jessica didn't notice. She was out on the balcony, deep in a phone conversation. She was laughing, a sound that used to warm my heart. "This weekend," she said, giggling. "He's been all mysterious lately. Sneaky with his phone, acting strange. Classic behavior before a proposal." I froze just inside the hallway, unsure if I should interrupt. Then she kept talking. "Of course, I'm going to say yes," she said, followed by another laugh. This one felt different, colder. "I mean, have you seen his sister's engagement ring? His family definitely has money. I'll say yes, grab the ring, and then figure out how to ghost him. 3 months, tops." I felt my chest tighten. I stood completely still, trying to process what I was hearing. "I've wasted 4 years on this relationship," she said. "He's dependable, okay in bed, but God, he's so dull. No ambition beyond his cushy office job. That ring, it's my parting gift. I'll disappear once I get it resized." And then the final blow. Brad's been waiting for me to break up with him. Anyway, that job in Chicago is still open, and I want it. And him. Brad. Her boss. The guy who always had some reason to text her after hours. The one she swore was married and not her type. I quietly stepped back, walked out the front door, and slammed it just loud enough for her to hear. "Babe, is that you?" she called out. "You're home early." She walked into the living room with a smile, no phone in sight, acting like she hadn't just shattered everything we built. I muttered something about Mike's back bothering him, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and headed for the shower. Under the running water, I finally let myself react. Not with tears, shock had numbed those, but with a strange, intense clarity I hadn't felt in a long time. The following day, Sunday, we went to brunch with her parents, just like we did every other weekend. I sat there, watching her laugh with her dad, chat with her mom about potential wedding venues. They'd been gently pushing for a proposal for months. Jessica played the doting girlfriend perfectly, smiling at me like nothing had changed. Had I been blind this entire time? Or had she changed along the way? Did it even matter anymore? I went through the motions, watched the game with her dad, helped clean up, held her hand on the drive back home, all while my brain was spinning, reshaping everything, building a new plan. On Monday morning, I called in sick to work, something I'd only done twice in 5 years. As soon as Jessica left for the office, and for Brad, I started taking action. First, I canceled the dinner reservation. I lost a deposit, but I didn't care. Then I contacted my bank and credit card providers and had it removed as an authorized user. After that, I got in touch with my landlord about ending the lease. The contract required 30 days' notice, but after explaining the circumstances, I agreed to cover the next month's rent. The next day, I visited the jewelry store where I had originally bought the engagement ring. I told them what had happened and asked if there was any way I could return or exchange it. At first, they hesitated. understandably so. But after I shared a bit more of the story, the older woman assisting me gave me a look that blended sympathy with something like admiration. Eventually, she agreed to help. We swapped the ring for store credit, but I held on to the box. She even helped me tuck a handwritten note inside it, while safely keeping the ring in the shop's vault until I figured out what to do with it later. By Tuesday afternoon, I had everything arranged. I signed a lease on a new apartment on the other side of town, a bit pricier, but well worth it since they allowed dogs. Diesel would be comfortable there. I scheduled movers for the weekend and set up mail forwarding. Mike, always dependable, agreed to take Diesel for a few days until I got fully settled. Tuesday night was the evening I had initially chosen to propose. I stuck to the plan, but with one major twist. Jessica came home to find me in the kitchen, preparing her favorite dinner, perfectly seared steak with mushroom sauce and crispy roasted potatoes. I'd set the table with our nicer dishes, lit a few candles, and uncorked a premium bottle of red wine. She walked in and blinked at the setup. "What's all this?" she asked, visibly caught off guard. "Just felt like doing something nice," I replied, forcing a polite smile that didn't quite reach my eyes. If she noticed the lack of warmth behind it, she didn't let on. Throughout the meal, she kept stealing glances at me, especially whenever I moved my hand toward my pocket. I could see the anticipation flicker in her expression, subtle but unmistakable. Each time I reached for my phone instead of a ring box, her disappointment was barely concealed. After dinner, I brought out dessert, tiramisu from her favorite little Italian cafe. And then, just as she'd hoped, I knelt beside her chair, ring box in hand. Her eyes lit up immediately. She gasped, hands flying to her mouth, eyes already shimmering with tears. She looked genuinely thrilled, or at least like someone who had rehearsed looking thrilled. "Jessica," I began, keeping my tone calm and measured. "These past 4 years have meant the world to me. You've changed my life in ways I never expected." She nodded, tears streaming down as if on cue. I extended the box. "Go ahead. Open it." Her fingers trembled slightly as she took it. Whether from nerves or excitement over the ring she was expecting, I wasn't sure. But when she flipped the lid open, her expression faltered. The joy drained from her face, replaced by confusion and then dread. Where the ring should have been was a small, folded note. Her hand shook harder now as she unfolded it. It read, "I heard your conversation on Saturday. I know everything about Brad, about your plan. Consider this goodbye." Her face went pale. "Mark, wait, I can explain." I stood up, already walking toward the front door, where I had left a packed overnight bag. "There's nothing to explain," I said quietly. "I'll come by on Saturday with movers to grab my things. I'm taking Diesel with me. The rent is covered through next month, so you've got time to figure out your next steps." She rushed after me. "Mark, please. You don't understand." I turned around once more. "I understand better than you think," I said. "And just so you know, I did love you. For real." Then I walked out. That was 2 days ago. Since then, I've been crashing at Mike's place, showing up early to work and staying late to make sure I don't cross paths with her. I haven't blocked her number, partly because I want a record in case she tries to spin things in her favor. But I haven't answered a single message. She's called me 47 times, left 29 voicemails, and sent over 60 texts. They range from anger, "You're being ridiculous, it was just a joke," to pleading, "Please, can we just talk?" to full-blown desperation. She's been relentless. Tonight, she somehow figured out I was crashing at Mike's place. When she showed up, it was Shannon, Mike's girlfriend, who opened the door and told her I wasn't available. I was tucked away in the guest bedroom, avoiding the confrontation like a ghost in someone else's life. Not long after, one of our mutual friends called Mike, said Jessica was parked outside his building, sobbing in her car. A part of me wanted to go down there, but a much bigger part, it felt nothing. Funny how things turn out. Her plan was to vanish after she'd gotten everything she wanted from me. Instead, I vanished first, before she had the chance to flip the switch. What was supposed to be a picture-perfect proposal became the cleanest break of my life. It's 3 8:26 a.m. Her car's still out there. My phone just lit up with the 71st text. I'm not leaving until you talk to me. I've muted her. No alerts. No sound. Just silence. Tomorrow, I see a therapist for the first time in years. Next week, I move into my new apartment. A month from now, I'll start that management training program my boss kept recommending. The same one Jessica always rolled her eyes at, called a waste of time. But now, every choice I make is for me. For the first time in 4 years, I'm steering my own life. And oddly enough, that feels a lot like freedom. Update. It's been 2 weeks since everything unraveled, and I'm honestly overwhelmed by the support I've received here. I never expected this story to resonate with so many people, to answer some frequently asked questions. Yes, I traded an engagement ring for store credit. I'm using it to finally get myself a nice watch, something I've wanted for years but always talked myself out of. This time, I'm treating myself. No guilt. No, I haven't taken Jessica back. And no, I won't be. To those suggesting I give her a chance to explain, trust me, I heard all I needed to in that phone call. Some truths can't be unheard. I did eventually block her number, but not before saving every message, just in case. Diesel's doing great. Shannon's been taking him on daily runs in the yard, and he's thriving. I'll have him back with me next week when I'm fully moved into my new place. Fortunately, I found an apartment that's both dog-friendly and big enough for us to breathe. As for Brad, yes, he's married. And no, they didn't bother hiding anything. Their cozy selfies were still up on public social media profiles. I reached out to his wife through Facebook. Not my proudest moment, but she had a right to know. Last week, Jessica lost her job. Whether that's karma or coincidence, I'll leave to interpretation. Yesterday, her parents got in touch. Called my work line, probably knowing it was the one place I hadn't blocked them. Apparently, Jessica gave them a version of events so twisted even I couldn't have predicted it. When I calmly laid out what actually happened, her mom broke down in tears. Her dad just went quiet. They've always treated me kindly. That conversation, that one hurt the most. To everyone saying I dodged a bullet, you're absolutely right. But even when you dodge the shot, sometimes the shrapnel still hits. I'm taking things day by day. Therapy is helping. The management course starts next week. I've even started reconnecting with old friends I lost touch with while trying to hold that relationship together. Someone here said the best revenge is building a life you love. I think they were onto something. Thank you for the encouragement, advice, and kindness. I may not be living the life I thought I was working toward, but somehow I'm okay with the one I'm beginning to build instead. Edit. Wow. I woke up and saw this post exploded overnight. Thank you for the awards, the kind words, and the validation. To the person who asked if I recorded the proposal moment, no. There's no footage. And even if there was, I wouldn't share it. Some things deserve to stay private, no matter how public the pain. Edit number 2. A few of you asked about Jessica's current situation. A mutual friend mentioned she's staying with her sister for now. Since I blocked her number, she's taken to emailing me instead. The messages are no longer frantic. They're more introspective now. But it's too late for reflection. That chapter's closed. Final update. It's been a month. I'm fully moved in. Diesel's back with me, snoozing on the new couch like he owns the place. I passed the first stage of the management program with flying colors. I also signed up for a rock climbing class at a nearby gym. Something I'd always wanted to try, but Jessica dismissed as reckless. Risk feels different now. I used to think the safest path was the right one. But sometimes, the so-called safe road is the one that leads straight off a cliff. Now, I'm finally learning how to climb.